Hi there, everybody. Just thought I'd do a quick update on the petition again today. So, wow, we've had nearly 30,000 signatures since the confession and sorrow from Fujitsu yesterday and the announcement that they think they've got a moral obligation to pay victims, which is progress, but we aren't there yet. So, I do need you to keep on signing the petition, sharing the petition, getting the word out just in the last few seconds. Andy, thank you for signing. Michelle P, thank you for signing. Faye P, thank you for signing. Keep on doing this because we want to ensure that we hold Fujitsu to account for the post office scandal. Thank you once again for everything that you do and for your tremendous support. It is so greatly appreciated. And I just wanted to jump to this news article. So one of the latest news articles on the post office scandal, because not only is it close to home, I'm in Greater Manchester as well, but also I think it helps explain the effect on not only the sub-postmaster themselves, but on the families, as we heard from the husband of a sub-postmaster live the other week, and we saw how it affected not only his wife, who's the sub-postmaster, but also him and his family and the children. This is showing us that not only, just what the sub-postmasters have been through themselves is horrific, but it's the families as well. So, son of Greater Manchester post office worker cried as mother jailed. So, the son of a post office employee was jailed over missing funds, said he broke down in tears after police knocked on the door of his family home. Dan Donovan was 13 years old. Let's let that sink in for a moment. 13 years old when this happened to him, when his mother was sentenced to 6 months in prison after £20,000 went missing from a post office in Greater Manchester. He said his family felt like it was just happening to us. After all, we have heard the famous line now from the drama, "You're the only one," when we know and they know that that was not the case. Until ITV drama Mr. Bates versus the Post Office aired, it was reassuring to see that they were not the only people affected, he added. 25 years after the launch of Horizon, they still thought they were the only one. It's horrible, isn't it? The 33-year-old, so 20 years ago, so in 2004, then his mother was jailed. The 33-year-old said his mother, who does not want to be named, which is fair enough, has used the faulty Horizon system at an Urmston post office. You just kind of thought that it was an unfortunate situation in your own family and that it didn't happen to anyone else, he told BBC Radio Manchester. So then when it all got brought to light, it sounds horrible, but it was reassuring to know that my mum wasn't the only person that had gone through that. Because obviously you would never wish this on anybody, would you? But, to know that it actually isn't your fault, you weren't the only one going through it, must be a tremendous relief on the other hand. So here it says he was just sobbing. Mr. Donovan said he answered the door. So he answered the door to 2 police officers who became knocking speaking to his mum more than 20 years ago. It was all very confusing. Well, as it would be as a 13-year-old. Just imagine as a 13-year-old having to go through this. No one knew why they were there at the start, but then mum came in. She was just sobbing, bless her. So she didn't know what to say. Of course she didn't. She probably didn't understand what was happening because none of them understood what was happening because these shortfalls in Horizon, the software made by Fujitsu, didn't exist. So it wasn't understandable because it wasn't real. He said police were investigating his mum while she was taken into hospital 3 times a week for treatment for a skin condition. So he's not well, he needs treatment, mum's trying to deal with that, hold the family together, and has this hanging over her head because of a piece of software and an organisation that was determined to send people to prison for things they hadn't done. Mr. Donovan said she could not explain why the money had disappeared, but had evidence she was innocent. She spent 3 months with a big police tag attached to her foot after serving half of her 6-month sentence. Well, that's 3 months too long, isn't it? She spent 3 months in prison. It would ring if she took the bins out after 7 p.m. I know this is what the tags are supposed to do, and you're supposed to stay in a geo-fenced area, which basically means you have to be in certain areas for a curfew, i.e. your home, after 7 o'clock. But this is how it impacted family life on top of everything. It's just the day-to-day normal stuff that we all take for granted. It would ring if she took the bins out after 7 p.m. Imagine doing nothing wrong, then imagine being sent to prison for 3 months, being accused of taking £20,000, and then imagine once you get out, You can't return to anything like normal family life because your tag, which shouldn't be on you, is ringing if you took the bins out. If you took the bins out to your property, I take the bins out of my property every week. I don't give it a second thought. But this is what this poor woman and her family had to go through because of the horrendous failings of not only the Horizon system, but the post office as an organisation. Adding authorities would question her about what she was doing. I don't remember minute by minute when I'm putting the bins out. It's just a normal everyday thing we do. We don't commit those things to memory. Imagine having to remember every little step you take so that you can prove all you were doing was taking the family bins out to be emptied so that you can live somewhat as normal a life as you can manage whilst going through this horrendous ordeal. He said he did not know why his mum, who was not a postmistress or sub-postmistress, had been treated the same as bosses. So it sounds like she was just working in the post office. It's no different in how horrendous this is. But, it's crazy. The postal workers that were being persecuted because of this. A recent apology to victims of the post office scandal from tech giant Fujitsu, which your people power, has pushed them to. Remember, Fujitsu hasn't said anything for 25 years since Horizon was launched. Probably 30 plus. Well, we know it was being tested in 1996, so 30 plus since it was being tested, even more since it was first starting to being developed. But people power has made them come out, and two of the most senior people in Fujitsu, the CEO of Fujitsu Global as well as the CEO of Fujitsu Europe. So well done for that. That's down to your support. Which designed the faulty software seemed like an admittance rather than an apology, he said. Well, that is the case, isn't it? They're being forced to admit it by people power, by the fact you are demanding action. It is going up a little bit slower. We've had 30,000 in the past 24 hours, but it is still going up. So please do keep shining. Please do keep on sharing. It's more important than ever. Since we've been on the video, it was at 228,532. And if I give it a quick refresh, we've added nearly 40 people in that time. In fact, we've added over 40 people. We've added nearly 50 people in that time. So keep on sharing, keep on signing. You are making a difference, and together we will hold Fujitsu to account for the post office scandal. Thank you once again. Take care.